watching me this afternoon, be it in the morning, be it in the afternoon, be it in the evening, whatever time you're watching this, whatever moment you are, whatever part of the world from which you're watching this, my name is Mohammed Yusuf Suleiman, but you can call me Moise for short. I also have with me Upe Waziri and of course Raf. Is it Ogaba now or Obaniyero?
Ogaba will be perfect.
Ogaba will be perfect. Ogaba. I mean, I'm trying not to bite my tongue by saying any of your lenses on it. But welcome to the show as usual. Now today, we are going to be taking a look at the financial mess at Barcelona. Let's start with statement credited to Barcelona's Vice President for Finance, Edo Romeo. Romeo said he believed that the team needs 500 million euros, around 427 million pounds, to be able to do all that they expect to do. Simply put, they need around 427 million euros, 427 million pounds, 500 million euros to be saved. That is the amount that is needed to save us. Now, Romeo also confirmed that they have rejected the CVC investment deal proposed by La Liga, calling it a bad deal. Now, Barcelona have debt of over 1 billion euros. It has been for some time. As it stands right now, they have signed Andre Christensen, Frank Kessie, both on a free transfer. So you can say they have agreed deal, but they have actually not signed them because signing is not complete until the players are registered. Now, the number doing the most damage is asset imbalance, according to Romeo. He said that there's a negative of 500 million euros. So you could add 150 million to that in losses this season if we didn't do anything, quote and unquote. That was what he said. He said he has said it, but he said this, and I quote, I said it before, if someone wants, give me 500 million euros, this is what we need to save Barca. This is what we need to save Barca. Raf, 500 million euros is needed to save Barca. How much do you have left? How much you have left? You can, or should we go for GoFundMe, crowdfunding?
Funny enough, if I sell myself, I'm not going to get 500 million euros. But yeah, good afternoon to everyone watching and listening to us right here, and it's a fantastic time to be on 23 Export with Mr. Moise and Upe. So yeah, it's a tricky situation at Barcelona, very very tricky, because there's a huge mess that this board met. Judging from the past time that Bartomeu was there and previous board, they left a big mess for Barcelona and for Laporta and his board to clear out. And they came into the team, and remember, it was difficult for them to register Ferran Torres. It was difficult for them to even
register Memphis Depay
and all of that alone.
Depay, before even kicking a ball, they had to take a pay cut.
Funny enough, Aubameyang also was a little bit difficult. So we could see the dicey situation that the team was in, and like the VP Romeo came out to say, I think
Vice President Finance.
Vice President said that it is a tricky situation because the balancing in terms of the books of Barcelona is so high that they have to balance the wage bill, and they also have to balance the resources they get and how much they can give out. Because like you said, even if they don't do anything, they have 100 million debt already that is incurred just by doing
1 billion.
Just by doing nothing, and it's a very dicey situation. And we're hearing reports that they have to sell about 25% of the Barca studio stake. Well, they're always saying that there's a buyback clause, so in case the club resuscitates, they can get back the studios again. And also they have to sell about 25% of TV rights, which is about 25 years.
Yes, yeah.
So the CBC funding was given 50 years, and they said no, we can't go for this because it might settle some issues right now, but
in the long run,
it will affect the whole body. So Laporta wants to do something very, very amazing with Barcelona, but he has a lot to do. Reducing the wage bill is one, but if he can settle, I think the board meeting is going to be today. So if they can settle a lot of these issues, then they might be able to sign players and be able to register players, and we hope for a brand new future for Barcelona come next season.
Upe,
yeah.
Nice to have you here once again. Now, the catch is always this: you are made to believe that two most successful club in the world in terms of finances at the point in time they were going away with 70% of the TV right money from La Liga. Themselves and Real Madrid. Now you are forced to believe that two of the most stable club financially has to be Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona are in this quagmire due to poor fund management by the previous board. But isn't that why Laporta was brought in to steady the ship?
And he's found it very difficult, I must say.
And he confessed that he never knew that the mess was this much.
Yes.
So resign.
Yeah. For real? Then how much would that do? What would that do for his legacy?
True.
The guy who ran away from the war.
Will he actually solve the problem?
Exactly.
I don't think so. Somebody has to face it.
Exactly, and he's trying to just face it all square. And then there's something from what Rafa said, there's something that I picked from it. He's not just trying to solve the problem, and then after he leaves, the problem will still be there. Yeah. He's looking at the future. at the long run.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't cure the cause and effect. He will not just cure the effects of the problem. He wants to cure the entire cause of it and then level it, and then so that you will see at the long run they won't come back and say, hey, he just did it for his time and probably sink the club into more debt when he leaves, and then they are still the next president will still be facing the same problem. So what he's trying to do is to just start it from the scratch and see if they can build again. That's almost what they want to do, but it's really a mess. It's a big time mess if you look at where the club has been and where they are at the moment. It's something. It's a pitiable situation. You look at the problem with registering players. Now we spoke about Christensen,
Frank Kessie.
Is he on that line?
Yeah.
I think Alonso. It's financial crisis that is
Aspilicueta.
and even a Barcelona wouldn't have had so much problem with Bayern and Lewandowski if they had money.
Now this is quite hot. Now this is quite hot because you can actually feel like the heat is on.
Yeah.
The heat is on because whatever they have to do, they have to do it now.
Yeah.
They lost Lionel Messi last summer because they couldn't sort out their finances.
Yes.
They might still lose more players this time around if they don't sort out their finances. So for that reason, take a chill pill, guys, have some water, and then we'll return for the second half of the show. From that short water break, can I actually call it a water break? Because I mean it's so humid and so hot out there.
We're in Qatar.
We're in Qatar. Just assume that we're in the World Cup. Well, how can you assume you're in the World Cup without Nigeria?
You don't have to break up.
Anyway, I mean a lot of hearts have been broken through football, and even though sporting Barcelona, like the man in blue here wearing some nice cap over his head and all of that. Now, let's look at it from this angle. Where do Barcelona go from here? Funny thing is this, Ralph. Joan Laporta is over optimistic, if there's any word like that. He's super optimistic. Let me use that line. That this crisis will be tackled.
Yeah.
That's why he's forging ahead with deals to sign Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah.
He's loud over deals to sign Jules Koundé.
Yeah.
He's not giving up, and he keeps talking about the Barcelona project, and even had a sit down with Erling Braun Haaland. Several things you look at this man doing, and at the point in time I was beginning to think that maybe he's like can I use this word we use in local parlance here? He's calming the Barcelona faithfuls, telling them what is not. In fact, and to be honest with you, they are already revolting voices that you are not doing what you said you would do.
Yeah.
You are saying things that you know are impossible just to keep us excited. What's really the balance? Strike a balance between the reality and saying things that the fans want to hear.
True. I think when Laporta took over, every Barcelona fan was saying, I mean, this is the best decision that Barcelona has had in the past 5 years. I mean, coming from a very torrid time for Bartomeu, and then Laporta came into the board and everything was looking so nice. Everybody was hoping that Messi was going to renew, but it didn't happen. And everybody started doubting. In fact, some placards even began to rise and they wrote Laporta. And they were saying, oh, this guy lied to us and this guy swayed us and all of that. But he kept on being optimistic. He came up with the Haaland deal and said, oh, it's possible, we can make this work. Towards the end, he said it wasn't possible. And then he said something to Lewandowski. I think before Lewandowski even started making statements against Bayern, he had told Pini Zahavi, like Lewandowski's agent, that no matter what happens, if Lewandowski can come out and make statements, we will sign him. Forget about the price. So he's been so super optimistic. I mean, he has come out with plans, him and Xavi Hernandez and also Jordi Cruyff and Alemany, believing they can sign the likes of Jules Koundé. These are guys with heavy price tags and all of that. But for Barcelona, I think on Monday, there was a board meeting that was scheduled for today. The Socis are going to sit down and meet and believe if they can trigger some of the economic levers that the financial part of Barcelona have come up with. They believe if they can sell 25% of merchandising rights of Barcelona and also 25% of the studio stakes. If they can sell those things, they can generate at least 500 million.
So, and they're saying if they don't do anything, they will still incur and accrue them 150 million euros.
The problem
if you don't do anything, even if you don't do anything,
like if you sit down doing
exactly.
nothing,
doing nothing,
the debt keeps piling. And I just want to come here. Sorry for interrupting. What's fueling Laporta's optimism?
Maybe because there is a potential sale of player that they are looking at, the most price asset they have right now has to be Frenkie de Jong.
Sure.
And they are not open, and they are open to selling him, but at a price that they will dictate.
I think what Laporta believes is he believes no matter what happens, Barcelona is still a big brand. It's still attractive to the open markets. People always want to invest in this brand, even though they are in trying times. We listen to what Florentino Perez came out to say that no matter what Barcelona goes through, it is still a good place to invest. So
an unholy alliance, I must say. The Madrid president even saying that he's open to helping Barcelona. You know why? They now share a common enemy in Javier Tebas, the president of the La Liga, and of course the FA president in Spain. They both see him as a common enemy.
Yeah.
Even though Javier Tebas says a lot of things that favors Madrid more than he says about his, it sounds more like a Madrid.
Madrid seems to be the traditional team.
Yeah, but now, Upe, let's round this up.
Yeah.
You are in the Barcelona's locker room. Play the role of Joan Laporta. With this financial mess that you are in, make some players sacrificial lamb. Ask some players.
Look at me, no Miss Upe. Sacrificial lamb, first of all, I'll say De Jong. I'll let De Jong go, and then whoever has given Sergio Roberto a new contract, but I've gotten even if it's 15 million for Sergio Roberto.
Even two.
Yeah, even.
But it was out of contract in July. He would have been out of contract. Yeah. So you should have never allowed him
to go. And then
no, but what they're saying is the extension gives them room to manipulate, to cook up the books a bit.
Actually,
yeah.
Like they did with Umtiti, like they did for the sale of Miran and Pranjic and then Otto Mayo.
Yeah.
But the whole Miran and Pranjic and Otto Mayo team flopped.
It did.
That's one of the worst swap deals, or one of the worst deals in football.
Both ways, it flopped because
Didn't
even
work.
the economic situation that they are trying to balance, it didn't work.
It didn't work on the pitch, off the pitch, and in the books. None.
So everywhere it failed.
Woefully.
So you first sacrifice Sergio Roberto, you can't anyway. You have already given him a new deal. So go for someone else.
Frankie De Jong has to go as Frankie De Jong, and I don't know Umtiti. I don't know how long he has in his contract, but he got.
Umtiti is available for loan or outright sale, and then there also talks about selling Clement Lenglet as well.
He was the next person I was going to call.
The funny thing about it is these players are talking about sacrificing. Ironically, nobody seems
Because
to.
they were crazy wages.
I don't know how everything bad you have to connect it to. I don't like Dan Vinny's, but you have to connect everything bad happening in the footballing world. There's a similarity to my resonates with what's happening at Man United.
Yeah.
You have players who you want to allow to let go, but because of the wages they are on, nobody's even looking at them.
Yeah. But then again, you have to talk about that with a pinch of salt and a bottle of more because Barcelona still finished second. Where did Man United finish again?
In the La Liga, they finished second. The Man United finished in the Premier League with
narrowly escaping the conference.
Where you have the big six, and then they finish sixth part of the big six.
The big six is just conscious to you know what I think. No. You know what I think? It used to be top four.
Yeah.
They used to top four. Then I extended it to big six. You know why? Because Arsenal keep falling down. Keeps falling down. So the more these teams are falling down, then new entrants into the top four race. So for them to keep their league competitive, they have to coin a new language.
Yeah.
They're not calling big six. They are the first people to. They are the ones that actually start putting out a top 10 finish. What's the meaning of that?
Top 10 finish.
Yeah, you hear it a lot like it will be success for Brighton if they can achieve a top 10 finish. I don't get it.
Well, it was actually meaninless. When it is finishing top 10,
top 10.
Meaninless.
Yeah, but we've had them say that teams made progress by having a top 10 finish.
Top half of the table.
Top half of the table, exactly. I mean, like I do say with my old friends, page 2.
I've not had that before.
Page 2. All right. Thank you very much for watching this brief edition. It still continues with Ayokla joining the crew right after this. Another water break, and I'll be right back.